All right, so you're ready to deep dive? And we're diving deep today. We're going to cut through all the noise, get straight to the point. We're on a mission here. We want to uncover a method for generating $1,200 on demand, like when you need it.
Yeah, pretty much anytime.
Anytime, right. And we're turning to insights shared by Arlan Hamilton from her YouTube video.
Yeah.
This method makes me $1,200 anytime I want.
Catchy title.
It is a catchy title. And Arlan, she's not just, theorizing about this stuff.
Right.
Her story, it really speaks volumes about, like, resourcefulness.
Yeah.
Building something, from nothing.
Yeah, she's gone from, like, literally experiencing homelessness to founding a $30 million venture capital firm, Backstage Capital. So she's walking the walk.
She is. And what's so key is it's all about repeatable, sustainable action, not just, chasing fads or, like, hoping for the best.
No get-rich-quick schemes here.
Exactly. And that's why we're deep diving into this. So the core of her strategy for this on-demand income boils down to a simple framework. You ready for it?
Hit me.
Teach, show, or do.
Yeah.
Boom. And those are the three pillars. We're going to dissect each one of these options.
Love it.
So that we can understand how they work in practice, right?
Absolutely.
And as we explore each of these, I want you, the listener, to think. Which one of these, teach, show, or do, feels the most relevant for you right now?
In your current situation.
Yeah, your skills,
Yeah.
what you want to achieve, like what's calling to you. Let's jump into teach first. And this doesn't mean you need a PhD or you have to have like years of experience as a professor or anything.
No, not at all.
Arlan's perspective is much more practical. It starts with figuring out who is your audience, like who are you trying to reach? Then zero in on a specific niche and a topic that matches your existing knowledge, passions, things you're already interested in.
Right. And this could be anything. It could be that hobby that you've been doing forever, a skill that you've, been working on, or even just a unique perspective that you've gained through your own experiences.
Like, what are those things that your friends are always coming to you for advice about?
Right. What are you the go-to person for?
Exactly. And even if you're a beginner, you probably have insights that are valuable to other people.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You know more than you think you do.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're talking about teaching, but what are some tangible ways you could actually put this into action? Like, how do you make money from it?
Right. Well, Arlan highlights creating a short online course. It could be a focused 30-minute video even, or a series of short modules maybe.
Okay, mini course, I like it. And what about platforms? Where do you host these things?
Well, there's a bunch of them, but Arlan specifically mentions Gumroad and Teachable. They're really user-friendly, especially if you're just starting out.
Cool, those are good ones.
But her real recommendation is School.
School.
That's it. She often has a link for a 14-day free trial in her video description.
Nice. Okay, and what's special about School?
Well, with School, you can build a community and even offer like a free membership level to kind of attract people, and then you can upsell them to your paid courses later on.
Oh, clever.
Yeah.
So it's like a way to get your foot in the door.
Exactly.
Okay. And it doesn't have to be this huge, complicated thing to get started.
No, not at all.
I mean, Arlan even mentions Carrd, C-A-R-R-D,
Oh, yeah, Carrd is great.
which is a tool for building simple landing pages, and it's free.
Free is good.
You can describe your mini course, link it directly to Stripe or PayPal, and boom,
Easy peasy.
people can pay right there on the page. So the barrier to entry for Teach is actually pretty low.
You don't have to be a world-renowned expert. Your interests, your skills, they're a strong starting point.
So true. Okay, we've unpacked Teach. Next up in Arlan's framework is Show.
Show and tell, basically. She makes a really good analogy to show and tell.
Right, she does. And there are a couple of key ways to show your expertise.
Okay, let's hear them.
First up, paid workshops. Picture this. Interactive sessions, maybe 45 minutes to an hour and a half long.
Yeah.
You're guiding a group of people through a specific skill. You're teaching a lesson in real time.
Like a live virtual classroom.
Exactly. And the tools for this are super accessible. Google Meets, Zoom, you can host it there. And scheduling tools like Calendly can manage signups, payments, all that good stuff.
Seamless.
Totally.
Mm.
And to illustrate the income potential, Arlan gives a specific example. Let's say you sell 60 tickets to your workshop at $20 each.
Boom. There's your $1,200.
Right there. Focused effort, relatively small scale, big results.
Love it.
Okay. Second way to show is through free webinars. Now, the strategy here is you teach a live session, could be online, even in person.
Okay.
And then usually towards the end, like the last 15 minutes, you present an offer.
Okay, makes sense.
It could be one-on-one coaching, consulting, extra resources, a package deal, something like that. And Arlan suggests price points ranging from $300 to $600, or even $1,200, depending on what you're offering and the size of your audience.
Right. The value you're providing.
Exactly. And what's cool about the webinar model is you can boost your reach with paid advertising.
Yeah. Ads.
So while Arlan uses Instagram ads mainly for growing her overall profile, she acknowledges that running paid ads, Facebook, Instagram, can be super effective for driving signups to those free webinars.
Even if you're on a small budget, like let's say $100,
Exactly.
you can experiment with promoting your webinar, see how many people register, how many actually show up, and what your conversion rate is for your paid offer at the end.
Right. It's all about testing, learning, and refining.
Yeah. And make sure your call to action is crystal clear in your ads. Tell people exactly what you want them to do. Sign up for the free webinar now. Something like that.
Right. No ambiguity. Okay, she also mentions another way to show your expertise, one-on-one consulting calls.
Oh, yeah. Consulting.
You're providing personalized guidance,
Yeah.
right? Walking someone through a method, framework,
Hand holding a little bit.
a little hand-holding, exactly. So Arlan contrasts her own high-value consulting with the idea of starting small. Maybe 30-minute calls for $30, focusing on one specific skill.
Makes sense.
Her own experience was teaching people how to create a blog, right? You don't have to be this huge expert.
Just need to have a skill or knowledge that people want.
Exactly. So paid workshops, great for teaching a skill in a live setting. Free webinars, awesome for reaching a bigger audience and then presenting a solution, a paid offer.
And one-on-one consulting, that's perfect for personalized guidance.
Exactly. Okay, so we've covered teach, show, and now we're on to the final element of Arlan's framework.
Do.
The do-it-for-you service.
Exactly. You take that same topic from teaching or showing, but this time you're actually doing it for someone.
Makes sense.
You're applying that expertise to solve their problem, get them a result.
Right. So like in Arlan's blogging example, instead of just teaching someone how to create a blog or giving them advice, she offered to build the blog for them.
For a fee. Right. Yeah, for a set price. Maybe starting around like $250, $500, especially when you're just getting started and offering it to a limited number of clients.
And here's where AI tools like ChatGPT can be game changers.
Oh, yeah, ChatGPT.
It can streamline that do process. Like if you're doing the blog creation, ChatGPT can help you come up with blog post ideas, even draft outlines. Makes you way more efficient.
Definitely.
And what Arlan emphasizes is these sprints, these focused bursts of teaching, showing, or doing to hit that $1,200 can happen anytime you have a financial goal, a need. It's a reliable way to generate income when you need it.
Makes a lot of sense. But a big hurdle that a lot of people face when they think about these kinds of income-generating activities is, I don't have an audience.
Right. It's a common concern.
Who am I going to teach? Who am I going to show? Who am I going to do for?
Exactly. And Arlan addresses this head-on in her video.
Which is great.
It is. And she draws from her own journey, which, remember, she started with very little, poverty, homelessness, but built a wildly successful venture capital firm.
Inspiring stuff.
It really is. Yeah. And it forces you to shift your mindset, get past those perceived limitations.
Absolutely. Don't let that hold you back.
One of the things she suggests is experimenting with paid advertising. Even if you start small, just dive in and learn by doing.
Yeah, get your feet wet.
Exactly. And there are tons of free resources out there, YouTube tutorials, things like that. ChatGPT, Canva can help you craft effective ads too.
Oh, yeah. Those are powerful tools.
They are. She also talks about collaboration, and this isn't about trying to connect with someone who has millions of followers. It's about finding those people who are a couple steps ahead of you. Maybe they have a few thousand engaged followers in your niche.
Okay, someone who's a little further along.
Exactly. And you can offer them a commission for referrals or do a guest post, an interview for their audience. Mutually beneficial stuff.
Win-win.
Exactly. And she brings up something that's often overlooked. Your personal network.
The people you already know.
Think about the contacts you have in your phone right now. You can literally just text people who you think would benefit from your offer.
Right, your existing connections.
And she addresses the pride thing. Some people are hesitant to reach out, but she shares a quote from Teresa Gao, a very successful founder. She said, "Pride is not an asset."
Wow, good quote.
Right. And offering your help in exchange for capital is a much better path than, struggling with debt or financial hardship.
Definitely. Pride doesn't pay the bills.
It doesn't. Arlan also encourages you to think about the total size of your social media followings across all platforms.
Add them all up.
Even if each individual one seems small, when you combine them, it could be a significant number. She wants you to picture that number of people And recognize that within that group, there are probably lots of people dealing with pain points that your offer could address.
Right, because pain points aren't always about needing more money.
Exactly. Arlen gives all kinds of examples, like teaching dance, crocheting, sharing travel hacks, even addressing pet behavior issues.
So, something for everyone.
Find something you're interested in that aligns with your skills.
And if you're having trouble identifying those specific pain points, Arlan suggests using ChatGPT.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You could ask ChatGPT, like, what are the most common frustrations of dog owners with puppies? If that's your thing.
Yeah, great example. And that brings us to Arlen's message about perfectionism.
Oh, yeah, the don't let perfect be the enemy of good thing.
Exactly. She really pushes back against waiting until everything's perfect before taking action.
Because it never will be.
Never will be.
Yeah.
It's so important to just do something, experiment, rather than overthink and delay. She talks about being comfortable with failing in public. That's her term.
Interesting.
She calls it a driver of her success. And she says she has an allergy to mediocrity. But still, you want to put in effort, right?
Yeah, of course.
But don't let that unattainable perfection stop you from starting.
Right, because you'll learn as you go.
Exactly. And finding the right approach, the teach, show, or do that works best for you, might take a few tries.
Yeah, it's not always a home run on the first swing.
It isn't. She compares it to musicians recording a bunch of songs for an album. They know not all of them are going to make the final cut.
Makes sense.
You have to put your ideas out there, see what resonates, get feedback. Even if it's crickets at first, you learn from that.
Right. Feedback is valuable.
It is. It's all about iteration, trying different things. A/B testing can help you see what messaging or offers resonate. And use those tools, ChatGPT, to help you refine your approach based on the results you're getting.
Tweaking, refining, optimizing.
Exactly. Even if you don't hit that $1,200 immediately, you're gaining valuable knowledge that you can apply to your next attempt.
And the next and the next.
Exactly. So the big takeaway from Arlen's framework is that generating $1,200 on demand is possible. It's about strategically using the teach, show, or do model.
And making it work for you.
And hopefully, this deep dive has given you a clear understanding of those strategies, those practical examples that Arlen shared in her video.
Yeah, lots of actionable insights.
There were. So as you're thinking about all this, here's a final thought for you. What's the very first skill, hobby, or area of knowledge that pops into your mind when you think about teach, show, or do?
Yeah, what comes to mind first?
Take some time to think about it, maybe revisit those resources, and see what possibilities are out there for you.
Yeah, what could you teach, show, or do?
It's exciting stuff.
It is.
Thanks for deep diving with us today.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. We'll catch you on the next one.